All right, it's been a minute, but welcome back to another episode of Chills with the Chapmans. Sorry it's been so long, but we are back at it again.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, guys, for the extended wait. We do apologize, but we are happy to be back with you guys, giving you more truthful content, more of our stories. Um, so sit back, relax, and listen to the stories we have for you this week. We're going to be discussing aliens, guys. Um, True encounters that we have heard, um, and that are, shared to us by friends, family, so on and so forth.
Um,
Well, first and foremost, let's talk about our take on them. So, what is your take on aliens? What are your thoughts, babe?
okay, so my take on aliens is the niggas is real. Okay,
Agreed.
they nah, but they are real. They are out there. I mean, if you think about it, there's other planets out there that are habitable and they've been discovered. So, if we can stay here on this earth, like, and we are beings, okay? Um, what what makes the difference with another, area? Like, let's say, okay, it's people in another planet, Zyborg or whatever we gonna call it like that, and they just normal people that look totally different, but we're really aliens. We can't go to their planet and they expect us to believe, oh, we're human beings, and they say, no, we're human beings too, and we're this it's more out there. We can't just be the only people that was just created with however we was created.
I definitely agree. And I get that little analysis that you was using. I definitely understand what you mean. Like, to them, maybe on their planet they consider the all, it's nothing but them. So we would definitely be strangers, whether they call themselves aliens or a different name, whatever have you. Yeah, for sure. Um, I do believe as well that they could blend in with today's society, only because of just so many things that can hide them. You know what I mean? Like glasses, hats, scarves, coats, having different medical conditions that have people looking, kind of funny or not funny, but different, I should say.
Yeah.
That they can say they have anything wrong, and somebody just gonna believe it. You got people that cannot, quote unquote, even come outside because of their skin disease to the sun, and that's real. Like, that's a real medical condition. So it could be a lot of reasons how they can hide out and be in plain sight, but not be in plain sight. So definitely agree that they are real.
They gotta be. Not only are that I believe that aliens are real, I believe they have taken part in a lot of activity in our history and guidance. If you ask me, they probably have changed our future a few times. Just
Really.
yeah, just start the simple thing. Okay, so you know how they say aliens built the pyramids or
Yeah.
helped built it. Let's say they really didn't do it. Okay, let's just say it's proof that aliens never had help with that, and we built them. It's like it that had to took years and years and years to build. That wasn't nothing that was just created overnight. And the way they talk about it, they talk like it was like
not really built in a day, but it
Yeah,
wasn't years. It took
years.
maybe a year or some months to get that to where it was.
So I mean, but too, I'm just like, okay, if aliens were here, maybe they just showed them the technology and the ways and the tools to build it quicker in the day. You know, because it's like it wasn't no trucks or bit. How were they lifting it up or doing stuff like that? Were they really just building on top of shit and building it up like that, or what? Because the thing is, because the assumption is they use some type of pulley to lift the bricks up on top of each other and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
You know, but it's like for them to do that, as big as them things look, you will have to have a nice amount of strong people to pull
yeah.
that
To
and
even get
operate
it to
that.
where, yeah,
So, which don't get me wrong, it ain't possible. It's possible, but the theory of aliens helping is kind of
it just makes more sense. Somebody
yeah,
helped.
yeah,
It was somebody else. I don't know if they had a lot of giants, or like he said. I mean, it just had to have taken a lot of people. Um, to move that, because they like as big as boulders, or more than a couple tons per slab, and that's a lot. That's a lot. um what do you want to get into the stories? I mean, I have a personal story for tonight. I don't know if he knows any.
oh, go ahead. You can go your personal story first. I'll
Okay.
just piggyback off of you or whatever.
Okay. So this is a personal story of mine's. um I'm still caught between if I really think it was a dream, or who knows, but I still remember it clear as day. So I was maybe 7 or 8, and I have this one aunt who, has a very different mindset, more like ours, is very open. And I remember her just telling us, I think, talking about aliens or whatever around us. And not too much, but she said a couple of things about it. Shared some like a cute little joke, like if you point to the gravestone, don't point to gravestones because you will feel a dead person biting on your hand or something like that.
Mm. That's
So
something new for me.
so she told us that, and like I said, I still remember that she took us to the park. We did some other stuff, and then later on that night, I remember walking, going home,
Hmm.
and I remember distinctly looking up at the sky, and I remember the sky being like this, uh, like a bluish purple, like it had some purple streaks in the sky. Probably had a nice little sunset, whatever. So it was a purple sky type of night. And I went to bed, and I remember waking up, and this part is always fuzzy to me, like almost like recalling a dream. But when I looked down at my bed, I seen like these 3 or 4 things that was tall with wide heads, and um, sorry guys, I'm just having an interruption with my phone. I apologize. Um, but yeah. So I looked down, and it was like these 3 or 4 things. But like I said, as I'm recalling it, I know that my vision was like, it was like I was in and out of it. That's how it felt to me. It was more of like a dream. When you in and out of it, you kind of waking up, you kind of not. But I know what I saw. These three, like I said, 3, 4 things that was, if I was laying down, they were just a couple of inches taller than my foot. So the height wise, that couldn't have been too high with me being 8 or 9.
Wow.
So they weren't that tall. And like I said, the only thing that I saw in the darkness was yeah, it was like the heads, like this grayish. And I remember the room just being black, but off in the distance I still seen something like light over on the side, like static, almost like coming from a TV. You know how you know, this was the early 2000s. So, I mean, dark room, and you kind of see the shadow from the TV if it was like going off, or like I said, it caught static or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Cable wasn't big, so you just had regular live TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
No Hulu,
so I don't know if I passed out or if I went back to sleep, but when I blinked back in, I was in a spaceship looking like thing. It had like all I seen was like little gadgets for me to like to press, and I remember kind of feeling like woozy, like I was like stumbling. But when I looked out, it was a big, like when I say very circular shaped, it was more circular shape that I saw out of like glass, like looking out of a car window, and it was just nothing but like pink. It was a lot of stars, and it was like pinkish black. Like the sky was a totally different color. I've never seen it like that, and it just had a lot of stars. It was just so bright. That's what I remember seeing. And then I guess I woke up the next day, and I don't even remember waking up. Like that's as far as I got. I remember just looking out, like I said, it is circular type of window, and when I looked out, the sky just looked different. Like I've never seen it like that. And like I said, it was just a lot of gadgets, and I was just standing there with like a lever, exactly how I done seen it in movies. That's how it looked before I've seen it in movies, So, that's really what I remember from that. But it always stick with me because those same 2-3 details is always the same. Like I probably remember more if I was younger and could redo it, maybe retell it from that next day. But that's really what I remember. So yeah, that's kind of my story. Like I said, I've never had another dream like that. It always stick with me, so I always say that it's an encounter, a very young, young encounter, and I've never encountered anything since then. So it could have been a dream that, whatever, or it could have just been what it was. But yeah, that's my encounter or just alien dream. It's just still so like fresh in my mind, but not too fresh. But it just still make me think like, wow, that's some creepy shit.
Yeah, that's some creepy shit. So, yeah, that's real creepy. That was So what you think you probably was
Abducted
yeah,
young.
yeah, and just brought back? Maybe. Maybe. That was cool. Um Shit. I have a I guess I can say a alien experience. Yeah, I'll call it an alien experience. Um,
Ooh,
uh, I've actually had a couple.
really?
We've actually encountered a couple.
Oh, we have.
Like the first one, we seen with that whatever that was in the sky just hovering there, just sitting there at our old apartment. We took like 2, 3 pictures and recorded it in our phone.
Ooh, I remember that. Why did
Yeah.
that slip my mind?
And when we went to go look at it, I think what that next day or 2 days later or
Two
something,
days later.
it was gone out our phone. The picture was gone out our phone, and I know we took them pictures.
We definitely
Pictures
did.
save automatically when you take them. It don't ask, do you want to save this picture or whatever. Even if you press back, it's still so. I don't. I didn't delete them. You didn't delete them.
And then the weird thing with the one picture set of pictures that we took, something ended up happening to our phones.
Yeah.
Like water damage. Like they slipped out of our hands. They got water damage. It was something that was wrong with them. We had to buy a new phone. So yeah, that was just some strange. It was
Yeah.
just strange.
Yeah. And then the time we was coming back from somewhere, I can't remember where we was coming from. We was on a freeway, and we seen this object that was moving kind of fast. Remember, we was like, "Nah, this moving too fast to be uh a plane or something," and it was bright. Then it set for a minute.
It did.
It was
It did. It
sitting,
sat for a second.
and then it started moving again.
Like it
So
was really just hovering, just sitting there.
yeah, yeah, just hovering and sitting there. So and then lastly, for me, I remember seeing I remember what I thought what I seen was an alien or whatever it or whatever maybe I don't know.
What, really?
Um I think it was. I don't know what it was, but um I don't know. I used to sit as a kid. I used to sit on the porch and look at the stars with my grandparents and stuff. And she used to tell me about the north, the not the North Star, but um, the thing that Harriet told me used the Milky Way and the Big Dipper and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
She used to tell me all about that stuff, and I used to try to find it or look for it and stuff like that. I never found it, but I was looking up one day and I seen this light flashing. I thought it was a star. I'm like, why would a star be flashing? I'm like, maybe I can really see it lighten up, like it, lighten up and stuff.
Mm.
Um, I went to go get my grandma and ask her, why is the star doing this? Came back and it was gone. Couldn't find the star. Now, stars usually twinkle, as they call it.
Yeah,
They twinkle
twinkle.
and stuff. But this was like a flash. Like somebody was taking a flashlight and putting it on, off.
Not like the airplanes
Yeah,
when
not
they're
like
about to
that.
land and
Because,
they got
the
their lights.
airplanes, it's like a flash, 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 flash. It's like a on, off,
It is.
on, off. So, and at the time, I didn't think about it being like airplane or something like that, or something being like an emergency, anything like that. I just seen it, and not too soon after that, I assumed it was a shooting star or something like that because I remember them saying something about seeing a some shooting star, some star, something like that. They name them all or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was, but I thought I seen it. But at the same time, as I got older and started learning more and more about aliens, I kind of was like, what was that really? Like, was that something else? Then, which I believe shooting star when they say shooting stars or something like that, I believe are still a cover up for them having the alien meeting. So
I mean, that dude moves faster than the speed of light.
hmm
So all you'll see is a flash. I
I
don't know.
mean,
Or maybe them shooting stars is just them coming in,
yeah,
landing
Yeah.
somewhere in our space.
yeah.
What if they just imported?
I mean, but think about it like here, them people down here from us, that stay by this lake, they must see a lot of stuff. Remember we seen that red light out there?
I do remember that.
It was it for Halloween last year?
Yeah, for Halloween, it was like something there. It was real foggy too.
It was real foggy. It was real foggy. And what's crazy is, a few years back, went to go when we was going to get some new phones,
New phones.
and this lady would say, "Yeah, it would be a bunch of alien sightings and aliens going in out the water over by where we stay at and stuff like that."
She did say
She
that.
did-
She
she
said in the
said that.
beaches,
In
the
the
beaches
beaches.
over here. So
Mhm.
local parks in Ohio look, at they beaches definitely. It might be some stuff you might catch up on the water.
The beaches, the national parks.
Actually, non-related but related to some people, because some people believe that aliens are who drop off extra other cryptids like Bigfoots and things like that. Some people are in the belief with that. So it wouldn't be too hard to believe if you put it together that way, because Ohio, as of 2022, has been voted top 5 for Bigfoot sightings. So we are in
Wow.
the top 5 out of all 50
States.
states.
Yeah.
Yep,
For Bigfoot
top
sightings.
5.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's not too hard to believe that maybe somebody will see some UFO sightings here as well over Ohio, especially off of the water.
Especially off of the water. I mean, I really think about stuff like for instance, think about places like uh let's say Atlantis.
Mm,
Places like that. Like what if that really wasn't somewhere that got submerged by water? What if that's just a secret alien base that they have and they use that, oh, it got submerged by water, as like a cover up to, just in case if something was to stumble upon it or anything like that, because rich people can get access to a lot of stuff, and the one wrong rich person get a hold of something and go down there and find out, oh, Atlantis is here, I found it. But it look habitable. It's, I mean, if we found the Titanic, if we found all these other things, why haven't we found that then, if that's supposed to have been, I mean, so much of the
well,
Earth's
that's
water
supposed to
has
be a
been,
quote unquote a fictional thing, though. They said that it was not real.
my point. But I do remember, whatever. Um, so, they, it's a lot that can go into uh extraterrestrials. Um, I just hope that if it ever comes out, I mean, it has most like it has been touched on when they released the documents from the CIA, and they said that they've caught a numerous amount of unidentified flying objects and stuff like that.
That are not accounted for being
Yeah,
hoaxes or something fake. Um,
I mean, where does that leave us? Where would that leave anybody? So, I mean, that's the crazy part too. And my thing is, what if they are the whole reason why we are here? Like we're just experiments in ourselves. So, that's kind of,
yeah, that's really our take on it. Has anyone, and you can always feel free to comment. Always feel free to DM us your stories, or personally call us if you have our number. Text us, call us. You can also email us. Leave us your stories. Do you have any alien stories that are personal to you, or maybe a family member that has ever told you something trippy? Maybe it was a dream like mine. It could have been, maybe something personal with just lights like Deontay had. But whatever the
yeah.
rhyme or the
Shit, do
reason,
anybody got a parent that was a grandparent, a great grandparent that was an astronaut or army or something
or
like
just
that?
has
That
any
know?
abduction stories in general,
Yeah,
let us know. We are always open, waiting, and we love, like I said, to just share our personal stories that were shared to us, by friends, family, acquaintances, our own personal stories, things that happen in our lives, just to create a safe space for all of us to just tell our stories. Regular people that have encounters to, like I said, that they cannot just chalk up to being a coincidence, something that has made you think over these years, to where now you just kind of like, what, I cannot chalk this one up. This is just one that is unexplained, and it is unexplained, it's creepy, it's weird stories. So feel free to join us next week for our next podcast and episode number 8 of Chills with the Chapmans.
yes, now.
Thank you.